So today, we are going to learn something very interesting, and I'm sure you will enjoy. We are not going to do anything practical too much in this chapter, and this will be the last chapter for the theoretical classes. Now, from the next week onwards, we will have to start with the numericals. So the first chapter will be transportation. Perhaps I'll in this week, maybe I may decide something else, but so far I have decided that we'll first take transportation. And the second thing is I will also try to finalize the date of midterm exam this week. I'll just ask chair and Dr. Amal, vice chair, and discuss with them and decide, because we are not clear yet how the exam will be, whether it will be online. So I have to ask them, whether it's still online or the students are supposed to take it in class. So after confirming from them, I will inshallah inform you about the date of the exam. I prefer to take it in the second week of March, but I will tell you inshallah. So now this is the last chapter of the theoretical discussions that we were doing. By now you are clear with the modeling, the steps in management science process, applications of management science. So this chapter normally I have been teaching at the end, in the end of the class, but end of the course. But in the book I found that it is in the first chapter itself. So why not cover it here, and you will enjoy, and I think this is the right place to discuss this chapter. Here what we are supposed to do is that we will learn how computer solutions can help in solving the management science problems. What are the softwares available? And you all are aware, there are so many apps and so many softwares we are using these days, that we are all aware that every app, every software is a program. There is a program written, and that program helps in solving a problem, isn't it? So we are aware about that. Similarly, for other purposes also, like for doing business, making a feasibility plan, making a financial model, there are so many softwares today available which help in easily solving or making the solutions. So we will learn some of them which are available for management science, okay, and we will see how many. These are only the ones which are mentioned in the book, but there may be much more. You can search and find out, but in the book they have referred to some solutions which are also used as in the companion website, and they have in the higher studies, or perhaps where the concentration of the program, like our business program, is very general, and I don't know whether we should go into that. So it's actually a decision to be taken to, for each course, what should be the depth. Here I don't know what exactly is the goal, but what we have decided as a course goal, the fundamental applications and the general numericals. So we will try to acquaint ourselves with the available tools. So in one lecture today, inshallah, we will try to cover this chapter. we don't want to waste too much time on this. We have to just familiarize ourselves with the solutions that are available. What are these? The explanation is not so much in the book, so I have gathered it from here and there, but the tools are the same. Computer solution softwares are the same which are used in the book. So let's start. The first thing that I have, so this is our lecture outline. These are the tools we are going to learn. First of all, we will see how computer solutions work, how the softwares work. Okay, so in this way, I am going to show you two examples. My voice is clear to all? Okay, I am going to show, so you have to pay attention, and it's a very important class, because I am going to show you there are 2 chapters in the book which we are not covering. So I am going, that's why I deliberately picked up the two examples from the 2 chapters, so that we are able to revise some things from them. So that's the first point. Then we have to learn about a spreadsheet, Excel QM, QM for Windows, Triplan, and Crystal Ball. So these are the softwares. So what our goal is? Our goal is to learn the fundamentals, to learn how they are used, and in what management science problems they can be applied, who is the owner, how does it look like. So for example, Triplan, Crystal Ball, we will go to the website of these 2 softwares, who made them, and see what it is. A spreadsheet and Excel QM are almost the same. QM for Windows is a special package for solving the management science problems. Okay, any question from your side? Yes, Salaf, I am recording it. I already started recording. I now I remember to do it. The first thing is being recorded. Okay, so let's start. First of all, let's see 2 examples of how softwares work. Okay, so let's see the 2 examples of how the softwares work. First of all, and let me just clarify, you don't have to worry too much that we have to solve this and whether this will be used asked in the exam or not. My main goal is to do 2 things. One, to show you how a software work. This is an online application, it's not downloaded. Okay, applications are online, and some applications are to be downloaded, to be installed in your computer or mobile phones, and then you use it. Like the so many apps, we are using mobile phone apps, and Etamarna and Tawakkalna, all those apps. What are those? These are all apps. They have software. So this is a software. This is a online tool which is available free of cost. This is free, and it will help us to solve, make solutions. So so there are 2 examples. So let's see how it works. Now, apart from seeing how it works, please pay attention. Also try to, why I have chosen these 2, because we have to also revise something about break-even point. All right, break-even point. And the second one is inventory analysis calculator, inventory analysis. So the links are given to you. Now you can use them. So let's look at this example first. See, this is a calculator, Hasib, which is used to calculate the break-even point. Break-even point is something very common. Who will tell what is a break-even point? It's a very important calculation which the business person, entrepreneur, or the finance manager or marketing manager has to do. So who will tell what it is actually? Why is it so important and what it is? Who will answer? Anyone? What is break even point and why is it so important? No one? You must have studied this in several courses. Is the point at which Tala has answered, is the point at which total cost and total revenue are equal, that is even. There is no not net loss or gain. Yes, you are right. So that's enough. We'll have the definition. You can check what Tala has found. Now that's what it's written here. The break even point is the number of units that we must sell in order to make a profit of 0. That means there is no the cost, the income and expense is equal, and that means the profit is 0. There is no profit or loss. Can you tell me, before this point the company is making profit or loss? Can you tell me? Before this point where the profit is 0, before this point comes, the company makes profit or loss? Think on it carefully. Fatima says profit. Any other answers? You got my question right? I asked before this point, not after this or at this. Before this point, the company keeps making overall total, it keeps making losses or profit. Now this is something very important for a business student, who you people are in the 6th level, 5th, 6th level. That means you will just be graduating in a year or so, after 2-3 semesters. So this is a very important concept that every graduate has to know. These are basic calculations. There is a very good book for if you want to revise the full there is a book called the 10-day MBA. You can search and see. What the beauty of this book is that they have collected all the essential, zaruriya, the important concepts that a business student must know in one book, in just one cover. They have collected all of these, like break even, operations research, marketing, HR, everything is there. So the student is able to revise. So this break even point is a very important concept that every student must know. So I think we have got the answers, most of them, but we should know what is the logic, why I agree with you that it is loss. Okay, and Abrar says no profit, no loss. Bela says depend on, and Fatima says profit. Then Tahani, Tala, and Belasan, they say loss. I agree, and that's the right answer. That before this point reaches the break-even point, the company makes losses. Now the question is why? Why the company is making losses? So let's look at the calculator, and then we not waste time too much. Let's look at the calculator. Why is it making losses? You see, what are the values we have to insert in this calculator? Yes. No. You are wrong, Tahani. No. Before this point even before this point, the company is selling. Okay. This company is selling. You understood? Even before this point, the company is selling. The company has started selling from point 0 till reaching the break even point. The company has been selling. But why is it making losses? Here is the answer. Look at the calculator, all of you, carefully. See, this is fixed cost, this is variable cost per unit, this is selling price per unit, and this is the expected unit sales. Expected unit sales. Now, what is the periodicity? Is it monthly, annually, or daily? We don't know with this calculator. So, we should know that every calculator which is standardized may be having, have some limitations, some drawbacks. So, a standardized calculator will not understand every need, but still they will be able to help us give something fixed. So, here you see these values. So, you all know about the fixed cost. You have already completed your accounting. So, you know accounting principles of finance. In all other courses also you have been hearing these names. So, fixed cost. So, what is the fixed cost? Fixed cost is the cost which will be there, you produce or not produce. You agree? Do you all understand this? Fixed cost, because it's very important. We have to we will have to try to cover both the topics along with covering the calculator, and that will be the final thing. We are not going to take up break-even analysis again. It's a you already learn it in many other courses, especially supply chain, then principles of finance, accounting. You have to learn there also, feasibility analysis. So, the fixed cost is like, for example, can you give me any, how the rent, suppose I am running my office in a rented premise, rented yani ijar. So, I have rentals, you are right, rentals. So, if I am not, suppose in COVID my office was closed, I was not producing anything. Do I need to pay rent? Yes, unless don't think of the government orders. The government asked the tenants, they gave waiver. But in general, even if the office is not working, the production is not going on, the fixed cost has to be borne. It has to be given. The building, equipments, machinery, all of these are fixed costs. Even before we start producing, these costs are there. So, that's one component of the cost. The second cost is variable cost per unit. Variable cost is dependent upon production, operations. If the operation is going on, then we have to pay. Suppose our classes are going on. If it's a variable wage, so when the classes are going on, we are paying money. Yes, you are right. Even if we are not making any sale, we have to pay the fixed cost. So, in the variable cost, what happens? The company will have to pay money only when the production is going on. Okay. So, these are two types of cost. One is fixed, the other is variable. But the total cost for the company at any point will be the combination of both fixed cost and variable cost. So, this will be the total cost. Then comes the selling price per unit. This is variable or fixed? This is fixed. The selling price per unit is fixed, isn't it? We will fix it beforehand. It's called pricing in marketing. Pricing is strategy. So, we know that we are going to sell Pepsi, and we are going to sell Pepsi for 1.5 reals for one bottle. So, it's fixed. Selling price per unit is fixed. What is variable? Is the expected unit sales number that we learnt in the last class also in the modeling, general simple modeling. The number of products, number of bottles that Pepsi is going to sell in the next 2 months, 3 months or a year, that is variable, mutaghayyir. Okay, so these are the values if we insert in these table cells, in this cells, then and when we click calculate, you can also open it for you, and you can insert any number. Just see that the numbers are logical. When you click calculate, you will get the values. Okay, now the question is why the company wants to know, how much will be my break even point, because the company wants to know how many units it should produce. Okay, how many number of products the company should produce, so that we can reach the no profit no loss first. After this period, we will be able to make profit. And for a business student, it's a very important concept, because every business, when it will start from zero. We will first launch the product in the market, then after that we will start selling 1 units, 2 units. In the product life cycle, we know all of us know product life cycle, it will go up, and then after a few months, few years, the products will be started to sell more and more. Then we will reach the break even point. After the break even point, only we will start earning profits. Before that, there will be loss. Although the loss will be loss, meaning that fixed cost is not yet recovered. Fixed cost is not recovered. So the first task for the company is to recover the fixed cost. So after you recover the fixed cost, it means that the income beats the cost. So when it starts beating the cost, then profit is made by the company, and that's why every business person is keen to know at what point, how many units I have to sell to make profit, to start making profit. Yani first of all reaching zero, and then start to make profit. Why and what are the possible uses of this? The possible uses is that, okay, let's first insert the values, and then I will explain to you on the slide. Let's look at this. This is 40,000 reals fixed cost. So suppose there is one Abrar started a business, and she has started it in a place which cost her, it's a small business. She spent 75,000 reals to start the business, and for each units, give me any example, any product that we want to make. Suppose we want to sell cakes. Okay, so for each cake we need to spend 2 reals. Okay, for each piece of cake that we make in our company, we have to pay 2 reals. And for each cake, tell me how much should we sell it for? Give me any value. If I produce it for 2 cakes, you understand, cakes, so I am spending 2 reals for per unit. Okay, 5, very good. So for selling the cake, I am going to take 5 reals. Okay, now the question is, also Abrar has done some homework. Before she started the business, she did some market analysis, and she knows what is the potential of the market, and she knows how much she can sell in 1 year. How much she can sell in 1 year? So give me any number. How much? Suppose it's Makkah, and she wants to sell cake. So in 1 year, and she is a small company. Now here there is a very important question to remember, that if we are deciding to sell in realistic terms, we will sell only how much we can produce. So that means there is a constraint. There is a constraint on sales. I mean, we have to only expect to sell as much we can produce, and for producing we need money. 2 reals per unit cost we have to pay. So if we are producing 15,000, we need 30,000 reals, and then we have to also see that we can accommodate that much, our machine is capable of producing that much. So we expect, so let's say in 1 year she can sell, how many you can sell, Abrar, in 1 year? How many cakes will you be able to sell in 1 year? 500. Okay, good. So we have 500 expected unit sales, and 2 reals per unit is the variable cost, 5 reals per unit is the selling price per unit, and fixed cost is 75,000. Now let's do one thing, it's very easy, just click calculate. Now you see here, although it's all dollars, but we will take it as reals, because, so what you see here, it says, now let's understand this, very interesting and very important for all of you. Even if you want to start a business, this will be a good way to understand. So what we see here, it says you will break even at 25,000 units. Okay, you will break even at, note down these, because once I shift to slide, you will have to give me these numbers. Okay, note down these numbers, I won't be able to access them from the. So what it says, it has calculated for us, you will break even at 25,000 units. Then at that time, our total revenue is 2,500 reals, total cost is 76,000, net profit at this time, net profit is minus 73,500, break even units 25,000. So at 25,000 units we will be able to, now let's look here, see all the values are here. At no, I mean this is only for 500 units. At 25,000 units she will be able to make profits. So what does it mean? It means that how much time will it take for her to break even? In 1 year she can sell 500. How many years she will take to sell 25,000? It's a very low number. In 1 year only 500 is a very low number. So it's a very bad business. Still, we have to see, any number can be there. So how many years she will take to make the break even, reach the break even? Who will tell? 25,000 units has to be produced. In 1 year, 500 can be produced. So how many years is required to reach this 25,000? Let's see. Three months? No, come on. It is 500 in 1 year. 50 years, yes. You take 50 years to reach the break even, which is not a good business, isn't it? It's not a good business. In 1 year, we are selling 500, and we need 25,000 units to reach the break even. But the formula, the answer is all right, and it's okay. There is a problem and we have to solve it. So we told Fatima, see, Abrar, that see, this is your break even points. So you have to wait 50 years to reach no profit, no loss, and after that you will start making profits, like the 51st year after you start the business. So she may be something, she will be very old, so maybe next generations they will start carry on with her business and they will continue. So this is break even. Why is it important? So that the businessman and the business person knows how many they need to produce and how much time will it take. Because this, she knows, there are two things. One, how much she can produce, and she matches it with the market requirement. Sometimes the market requirement is less and we can match the need. Sometimes the market requirement is, the demand is too high and we cannot match, like the need for water. So need for water is what? It's very limited, it's very huge. Any one company cannot fulfill the need of bottled water. So there are many companies and each of them know that we can still, there is a scope for another company to sell water. So this is the calculation of break even point automatically. Now this is an example. Now tell me a few things. Let me go just to back to the slide first and do some discussions on this. You have the figures with you, okay? So you have to help me with telling me the figures. In this example, what we did, you have to understand the process. We gave the values of fixed cost, variable cost, selling price for 1 unit, and what else? We gave the number of units. So that means forecast, sales forecast. And this is the same, we are saying sales forecast means also what we can produce, realistic forecast, what we can produce. We are not saying we can, she is very realistic. She said I cannot produce more than 500 in 1 year. It's fine. So this fixed cost is 75,000. She started a business, she bought some machinery, she has used some place, and in total she has spent 75,000. Variable cost, she is spending 2 reals per cake. Sales price is 5 reals per cake, and forecast is that she can easily make 500 units. These are units, these are all Saudi riyals. Okay, and then what we did, we simply we pressed calculate and we got the answer. This is a clear example of a model, isn't it? There is a model behind it. We are just seeing the front, the interface, the solution mode, but how does it work? How does this software work? There is some program written at the back, and that program uses some formula to calculate the break even point, right? So this is an example of a computer solution, and this is how it works. So for many management science, that is what we are going to learn, the several types. So this is an online calculator. Now tell me something, I have some questions, it's like a quiz. Listen carefully. First of all, tell me this model that is being used by this computer software online tool, is it a deterministic model or probabilistic? Let me see if you understood this concept clearly or not. The model that was used to calculate that BEP is 25,000 units, and so we can do other calculations. The main answer was this. So we got this answer. The Z will be 0. The objective function was break even point. We found it at 25,000 units. The computer gave us the solution. We used a model. There was a model clearly. We don't have to use that model. We didn't do it manually, but there was a model, and we used a. Okay, very good. So you understood, all of you. Very good, mashallah. Rahaf, Fatima, Razan, Mahab, Belasan. Now tell me why is this deterministic? This is deterministic because we inserted the input values and we got the solution, one solution. This software, let's understand the features and problems with a computer solution. This software that we used is fixed, it will not change. It uses a formula at the down. I will request all of you to go through it carefully. Okay, go through it carefully. You see this graph, this shows that the business is very bad, 50 years for reaching break even point. Ideally, no investor will give us money, so we have to do everything ourselves. It's only because of someone's passion that she will sell cake and wait for 50 years to do this business, but still your wish, you can do it. The computer gave us the solution. Now break even calculator, Q is equal to F by P minus V, all the values are given. So this software has given us complete details of at what units what will be our variable cost, what will be our total cost, and what will be the net profit. If suppose I say I will be able to sell 25,000 in 1 year, I am going to start a better business, then you see the break even is still at 25,000 units, but I take less time, just 1 year I will be able to solve. See here, the break even has come at 25,000 units in the very first year. Here the graphs are going now in a very good direction, and at this point you see we have reached the break even point where the cost and income has met. So this model is deterministic. Here there is no external factors which are going to affect, and there is no if and scenario. Everything is fixed. We do not put any condition like expected unit sales 25,000 if the market is good, 15,000 if the market is bad. So then this solution will be different. It will give us a probabilistic solution, that since you gave me two values, now I am giving you. So this is a deterministic. Okay, let's come back to this. What are the values which we inserted? What are these? What are these called? These values, are these variables or constants? These values 2, 5, 75,000. These are what? What are these called in the Z function? These are what? 75,000, 2, 5, 500. These are, what are they called? They are called, we are just revising parameters. So we understood that in management science, whether we are using these are not variables, I am sorry, these are not variables, fixed cost. Variable cost is also per unit, it is not a variable. Are you getting? 2 units, 2 reals per unit is not a variable. Number of units is variable. Number of units is variable. 2 reals is fixed, it will not change. Okay, got it? 2 reals I have to spend on 1 unit. If I produce 1 unit, I have to pay 2. Similarly, if I sell 1 unit, I will get 5. So this is fixed. This is parameter. What can change? The number of units I produced. All of you understood this? Because this is what we have to learn basically. So now after looking at the online solution, we can relate with what we have done so far. So selling price for 1 unit 5 reals. This is fixed parameter. X, the number of units which we are going to calculate. This is X actually. Break even point is X. How much we need to produce so that we reach the break even point. What is break even point? The point at which cost and income equals. This is break even point, and as you rightly said, many other students said that it is the point at which there is no profit or no loss. So this is a deterministic solution model. The parameters are fixed, the solution is 1, and I hope you understood, and you also understood that this is an example of an online solution, online calculator. If we use an app or we buy a customized solution from someone, then what the company will do? See who produces this. This is a company, Good Calculators, who have done this. So they are doing it maybe for free for some reason, but there are many companies who will create a calculator for a company. They will take the order and make the calculator, and they will do something more than this. But for us, it's a very good example of what break even point is. I hope you all understood the concept of break even point. It is revised. You could Taskir Lil Jamia sir, because it's a concept you already studied, and that's why we don't need to. So we understood from management science perspective that there is an objective function to find the point at which there is no profit, no loss. We also know that we need to give parameters to the model. So, we have already reached the model stage. We have reached the model stage. Model has been created already. This is the model. Okay. So, you understood this is the model. Where is this model? At the back of this software. This software which is calculated by these people, at the back of this software, they have the model. When you click calculate, it just gives us the result. So, we reach the solution, and this is what we do in management science process. So, instead of doing this manually, like it's shown down, that we can calculate it manually also by using the formula. How? Fixed cost given, variable cost given, selling price given, and we can calculate it manually by using your own mind or using the calculator. We just fix the formula, and we can do it using the online software or Excel, whatever. So, this is first example. Let us go to the second one, and you have to note down. I will give you an assignment this week. Don't worry. This week you will have to do an assignment on these two. You have to write note on break-even analysis and inventory. Okay, so inventory analysis. The inventory analysis is another important business problem, like break-even. Break-even helps us to know how much we should produce to first reach the zone of no profit, no loss, and then after that we can make profit. In the inventory, we need to know how many stock, how much stock. Inventory is maqsoon. So, the question is how much we should keep, so that we solve two problems. One, in business, what is the benefit of inventory? I mean, we are talking about finished goods inventory. Okay, we have produced it and kept it with us. So, finished goods inventory, why should we keep? We should keep because there is always something called lead time. There is always a lead time. We will come back to it after I discuss on these slides. Okay, let us first discuss it here. So, in every company, we know that there is a business cycle, and the purchase of raw materials, then the production, and finally selling it in the market. Yani it reaches the consumer and gets the money, the sales is done. There is a lead time. There is a lead time. So, that means there is a time of, for example, I purchase the raw material, I start producing. Every 2 days or 3 days, this supplier takes 3 days to send the product, raw materials to us. And this company, suppose this is again ABC company, and this company keeps on producing, and after the finished goods is ready, it may take some days. Suppose it takes 2 days to prepare the product. It takes another 2 to 3 days, 4 days to make the product reach the market, and it's going on in this process. So, how much is the total lead time? 3 to 5 for 9 days lead time is there. What is lead time? Lead time is the if suppose we don't, this company stops the production, ABC company stops production and says we will only start producing after we have sold all the product in the market. So, suppose they will wait till their production has become 0. They stop production and they will wait. Once all the products have been sold in the market, they will again buy from, suppose this is supplier, they will buy the raw material from supplier, then they will start making the product. It will take 2 days. The finished products they will send to the market 4 days. So, that means if the product is not supplied regularly, and it is stopped, and the company waits for the complete product to be sold in the market, what will happen? After 9 days, this company, suppose this is a retailer, Bin Dawood, they were selling ABC product. At one point of time, if the company stops sending, day 1, day 2, day 3, on day 9, what will happen? The Bin Dawood will not have any stock of ABC product. What will happen? The customers will switch, they will be dissatisfied, they will go somewhere else, because they will come every day. They don't know what is, because we are studying business, we know what is lead time, what is the production time, but a customer doesn't know. When we go, we don't ask for the company's lead time and how much we should wait. Yes, there are many cases, isn't it? There are many cases where the customers have to wait, there is no choice, but still they are not happy about waiting. Customer doesn't want to wait, the customer wants to go and quickly take in real time. So for this reason, on one hand, in order to avoid situation of stock out, this is a situation called stock out, meaning the company will keep selling enough products to the market to meet the demand, expected demand of the customers, because daily demand will vary, it will not be the same. So there is expectation, there is a forecast that this will be the demand of products every day, every month, every week, and the company keeps sending those number to the market to avoid stock out. Okay, but on the other hand, the company cannot produce too much. If the inventory, suppose finished goods are kept here in a distributor or with Bin Dawood, that's an inventory. Suppose Bin Dawood says we are only placing your retail stores, what they do? They may just place our products, isn't it? They don't pay. Once they will pay only after the sale has been done. That's one arrangement. If it depends upon the bargaining power. So if suppose we have our own distribution center and we are piling up finished goods inventory, this is inventory, and we keep on selling. So this has a cost. So we keep it with us and we keep paying the inventory cost, holding cost, ordering cost, etc. And with all these, the cost is going up. So where does it ultimately affect? All cost ultimately affect the formula of income minus expense or income minus cost. So this inventory cost also gets added up here, apart with the so income is the same and cost goes up, then profit will be suffering. So the company tries to optimize the inventory, optimize the level of inventory. What does it mean? It means how many, like in the previous example, break even point, they wanted to know how many to produce. Here, the simple answer, simple question will be how many to keep, how many to keep, finished products to keep. So that is the question which has to be answered. So Z has become, the optimization of Z would require to take account of on one hand the cost, the other hand the customer satisfaction, the service levels. It's not satisfaction actually. In the case of management, mathematical problems, we are not taking something like customer satisfaction, but you must have studied in supply chain management, or you will study that there are many different types of inventory models. Only mathematical model is not enough. That's what we have to learn, because customer satisfaction cannot be measured in numbers. Still, there are inventory models which have now included the customer satisfaction also. But in the mathematical model, we want to know the service levels, Yani every day how much is required at the minimum, every day what is the requirement at Bin Dawood for my product ABC, and we also want to know the ordering cost. So let's see the calculator again, the online calculator, and check if they are able to solve, how they are able to solve for us. So you see, it's written again, this is a free software. Many free softwares are there, but we should be careful with free softwares for several things. One is its reliability. So when you go and work for a company, good company, we should always buy softwares from some reliable people, so that the calculation is right, Then they can also customize the software for us. That is another issue. Okay, so let's do it quickly. We have to find the inventory level, finished goods inventory level, how much we want to keep. So what we should do, these are the parameters. These are the parameters. We have, so parameters means we know it. The computer or the model, the management science model needs these values to prepare the model, and after the model has been prepared, it will give us the solution. So it says, just for revision for all of you, pay attention. What is inventory? It says it helps determine how much inventories one company should hold and when you should place inventory orders. So this is the question, how much I should keep as finished goods and when should I order new. So what is the lead time? Based on that, suppose I have inventory today, so when should I do? Should I do it regularly, every day, at what level? So these are the questions we have to answer in order to know about inventory management. So this calculation attempts to keep our inventory level as efficient as possible. Efficient means taking care of both. Our customer is also satisfied and the inventory cost is also low, both high customer satisfaction and low inventory cost, while maintaining adequate safety stock. Safety stock is something you must have studied in inventory. This is the stock we keep to manage the lead time. So if it takes 2 days, for the new stock to come, I have to keep some amount of stock so that we keep on producing or we keep on selling. There is no situation of stock out. The customer gets the product on time, and in the lead time, the company will be able to get the new materials or new finished goods, whatever. So what are the values we should give in the inventory analysis? The main parameters which are to be provided, and if we are giving it for computer solution, it's the same for the manual model also. So annual growth rate. Annual growth rate is what? This is the we expect how much we should grow, sales growth should be there. So it says suppose it's 25%, we say we expect 20% growth next year, or every year our growth rate is 20%. So growth rate is clear. It's in terms of the sales, how much we are going to sell every, and you see on this scale, this calculator, there are sliding system. You can increase from here also. See, it's good. So we can do it, or we can type also. So this is 20%. Then the second question, and you can click on here to check what it is. So that's why I am showing it in a very precise, very explained manner, because you do it yourself. These 2 chapters are very important for you in other courses. You will learn them, and these are very practical questions to do. So the second parameter, starting inventory. What is the inventory today? How much, at what level did I start? I mean, I will check my go down store, warehouse, how much is there. So I see it is suppose 10,000, it's units. Okay, units. Annual growth rate is percent. The starting inventory is 10,000, it's units. This is percentage, this is units number. Initial demands per week. So it's a weekly calculation. So I have to see how many customers or what is the number of products I sell every week. So this is a calculation I have done. I have to tell the computer how much I expect, or what is my expectation of the demand per week. So it's 2000, written 2000, I say it's 1500 per week. Then comes the safety stock. So 15% means that at 15% stock means that I am not keeping full. I am only keeping a part of the lead time. Suppose it takes 2 days or 1 day to reach. If it doesn't reach us on 1 day, after 1 day, then we have enough stock to sell. We don't have a blackout situation. So it's given 15%. Let's keep it at 15%. Order lead time in weeks. How much time it takes to get the new product from the company? It's given 4 weeks. Let's say it takes 2 weeks. Okay. Now here we have given all the parameters, fixed values, which we know as a business person. We know these values. We gave it to the modeling stage, the same model, OR model. We gave it. Now the model is created by using the equation of the inventory that is at the back of this calculator. We calculate. Once we calculate, we got the value. We must keep an average inventory of 1000. All of this is parameter. You are right. All of these are parameters, and parameters mean this is very important. This is not pure numerical. It's judgment also, because these values we have to give to the computer or to the management science. If we are doing it manually, so we'll learn in the next classes. These values are the things we have to provide to the computer software, or we have to insert when we are doing it manually, and based on these values we get the calculation. So here, after we have provided these values, we got the value of 1485. Now this is based on some formula. The formula we learned in supply chain management. There are many formula. EOQ, economic order quantity, is the most common. Have you heard about economic order quantity in supply chain management? This is a formula to calculate the inventory. I don't want to teach that because that's not my area and we cannot spend too much time on that. So you check it, the inventory models formula. This calculator used that formula at the back and created the software. We just inserted the parameters and got the output Z value, which is 1485. Now in all probability, now here is the task for the student, business students at this level. You have to know, I mean, it depends upon how much you are motivated to go and check from the market how correct this is, what are the managers' experiences about this, what type of software they are using, how accurate it is. These are all the task of the students to do in the field. When we are doing everything in the class, but when you go to the field, you get the real practical inputs from the managers who are using it. How far this is, what is the error, margin of error. But this computer has not made an error. It has given us the value based on a formula. Its value is 1485. At the lowest, at the minimum, the company will not suffer too much. That's for sure. It will not be creating a disaster for itself if it still follows this value and always keep a value of 1485 number of items in its store. Then there will be no problem. It will be able to manage. So this is the example, second example of how online solutions work. Now you can see here, this is the graphical representation of the inventory level and the safety stock. Safety stock is 225. It is constant. Every time the company keeps this much of stock. Okay. Now you can do your study, read them all and check your supply chain. Have you completed supply chain management? If you have not completed, you will learn it again. So you can check with your teacher. She will explain you more, and then you can revise what we have done. And if you have already completed the course, then revise it, go through it. Everything is given at the bottom, then check in your book. My purpose was to show not how to calculate inventory, but how to use how it works, the software. So we saw two examples, break even and inventory. I'll give you some assignment. I'll think if you are not overloaded based on these. So we learned again this inventory analysis. What type of model was it? Is it deterministic? Do you think that it is a deterministic technique or a probabilistic technique? What did you feel? We gave the parameters, we get a solution. Will the solution will always remain same, or it may vary also? So is it a deterministic or probabilistic inventory model? Very good. This is also deterministic, and that is what is a question mark in practical terms, that when we face the real time situation, real life situation, what are the limitations here? I don't want to go into much details because it will waste our time. It's actually a topic of inventory management, you will learn there. But one point that can be quickly seen missing is daily fluctuations, isn't it? This model is not taking daily fluctuations. It is simply calculating everything on week. Then the expectation also is fixed. Now we all know there may be a fluctuation in the customer demand also. So these are not addressed here. It's fixed cost, fixed input and fixed solution. If we are giving the fixed parameters, then the calculator will give us a fixed solution, which is 1, and the manager has to decide whether it wants to go with 1485 level of inventory per week or not. The computer has given the solution, but in probabilistic it will give something which may be more real, which may be taking, but it's more complicated. Here we have to do something more, but there are we'll quickly see now today what are the solutions available. Okay, so I hope you understood how the software works. Let's see what are the solutions available and discuss in the class. First of all, the simplest solution, the simplest software which is known to all of us. What is the other name for a spreadsheet? The most common, Excel. Very good. So the most common example of a spreadsheet is Excel, provided by Microsoft. It comes as a package in Office, and it has been used. The break-even point can easily be calculated using Excel. Many calculations can be done Excel, and you will see, if you do your research and you become an expert in Excel, there is no limit to what can be done in Excel. But if we are talking about from layman, a user friendliness. I mean, every software has to consider this part, because every manager cannot be expert in programming or coding. She doesn't have time to do this. She has to take a decision. Now she cannot spend time programming and making a formula in Excel, make a model in Excel and then run the model. It has to be user friendly, as we just saw in the online calculators. So there this Excel suffers, and that is why it is not a very preferred software in management science, in operations research, like linear programming or break even, etc. Why? Because it's not always easy to use and not convenient. It cannot conveniently solve every type of management model. But remember, if you want to become an expert in Excel, it can do a lot of things. So there are many people who are experts. So if you want to specialize in this and you can make it a skill to add in your CV, then this is a very good tool. You can keep learning this skill, develop it, and it can become a very important tool for you. You can become an expert and you can do many things on Excel. So for two reasons, Excel is not a very comfortable tool in management science, because it's not user friendly. It's user friendly when we do normal calculations like we do. We can insert databases, we can make addition, subtraction, multiplication, pie charts, graphs, etc. But beyond that, when we want to use it for modeling, for calculations, then it becomes difficult. and we can just relate with the examples that we just saw how easy it was. Just give the parameters and calculate. Anybody can do. So if I give you any problem, and I ask you to solve the problem, you can easily tell what is the answer. So that's how easy an online calculator should be, a software should be, and that is why the company will purchase the software from another company. So that's the first. But has it been used? Yeah, in the book you will see on page number 14, 2 examples are given on how the companies have been using, big companies like HP and Procter and Gamble. They have used Excel for a wide range of management science applications, where in modeling supply chain networks, forecasting, planning, procurement, most of the important management functions, operational functions. But the thing is, these people who have done this is very customized for company, and they are experts in Excel. So a normal person, a normal manager will not be able to use Excel so easily, but still companies know. But the thing about Excel is it has lot of scope, and people when they learn it, they can use it for many reasons, for purposes. So a person who is expert can use Excel for management science also. HP is one example. You can search it. In the book only this much is given. Now you should try to find out how they are using. If you know someone in HP, contact them, ask them how they are using spreadsheets. They may give you some more details, or on online Google, search it, how they are doing, because that's what curiosity is, what we have to do. You have to be curious to know. It's a very good course, very practical. So you try to find out how HP has used Excel spreadsheet modeling to to solve their supply chain problems, forecasting problems, planning. And second, Procter and Gamble, they have also used Excel spreadsheet. A spreadsheet doesn't necessarily mean always Excel. Excel is a type of spreadsheet solution, but it's same. All of them are of the same family, spreadsheet family. Okay. So P&G uses spreadsheets for supply chain management and specifically inventory control, like HP, to which it has attributed over $350 million in inventory reductions. So you see, by using the computerized model, by using management science application, the company was able to reduce $350 million cost. Okay. So these are 2 practical examples. Now up to you. You can check how they did, share it with us, and so that we can learn more. Excel, as we said, in itself is not very friendly, but there is an addition, there is an add-on which is mentioned in the book. It is called Excel QM, Excel Quantitative Methods of Management. So Excel QM is an add-on to Excel program, Excel software. With this Excel QM, many management science problems can be easily solved. So I just took a screenshot from the Excel QM software website, and you can see there is a download option. It's freely available, if I am not wrong. You just see if it is freely available. Once we have this software, we can solve many management science problems easily, almost most of them easily. What we will have to do, we will have to simply use, it will be slightly more complicated than the online calculators that we saw, but not very difficult. Like we just put the values in the Excel and we want to make a graph, we can easily do. So it will be almost similar. So Excel QM is a very user friendly add-in for Excel, and with that, now Excel can be used to solve. Only Excel is not user friendly. Everyone cannot use Excel to do management science modeling, but with this QM addition, it can solve most of the management science problems. So this is one. At the bottom, you see, this is the source I have given to you. You can check, click this, These are things I want you to do as your week activity this time, because this is very important. When you become a manager, these will be the most helpful, because there will be many people, out of 10 only 1 or 2 will be knowing the use of softwares and using management science practically. Rest will all use common sense and logic and general calculations. So that will make us better than the others. Okay, so the main solution online which is available for managers to use user friendly application, it is QM for Windows. QM for Windows can solve any type of management science problem, whether it is transportation, inventory, Z max min subject to constraints when it can be modeled, and that is the objective. Then the company, this software application can provide all solutions. What we have to, in last point you can read, in most cases we simply have to input the data parameters into the model template, click solve, and the solution appears in Windows format. Here is the screenshot from, this is the website I have linked. These are not given in the book. I have just done some more preparation, so that you can keep this forever. You can use later also. Whenever you have time, you can just check, try to use. So QM for Windows 5.2 version is what is available right now. And see, it's written, it's mathematically analyzes management science operations and quantitative methods. It includes calculation methods for decision analysis, goal programming, game theory, linear programming, and more. So most of the problems can be solved using QM for Windows. Other software, other management science problems are also written. Techniques like PERT, decision analysis, transportation. So you can check yourself how it works, what it is actually. Try to download it, at least keep it with you in your computer, so that later sometimes. The third one, so what we learned so far: Excel, then there is Windows QM, and the this one, QM for Windows, and the Excel QM. Now there is a very specialized software for decision tree. Decision tree we will learn in one of the chapters, that we are surely going to do. Decision tree is a problem where there are choices, and the company manager has to make choice in uncertain conditions. It's a probabilistic problem, so we use probabilistic technique. So tree plan is a software which is available. Here you can go to the link and find what it is. It helps build a decision tree diagram in an Excel worksheet using dialog boxes, and not just that, it uses sequential decision problems under uncertainty. Uncertainty means probabilistic. So we are able to get a solution. Decision tree is a specialized tool to solve such problems where we have choices to make, and it creates formulas for summing cash values, outcome values, and for calculating sum total. It gives complete solution to decision analysis problem. Complete solution. Now you go through this and you share your learnings from going through the link. Finally, there is an application from Crystal Ball which is mentioned in the book. It is again a spreadsheet based application for, especially for, it is created by Oracle, and where can we use this? We can use it should be paid. Okay, you can just find out whether it is paid or any trial version is available. It is paid normally. The companies will buy and get a customized package from Oracle. It helps in predictive modeling, forecasting, simulation, and optimization. Oracle is a big company like IBM, so it should be a good software, and it gives unparalleled insight into the critical factors affecting risk. This is something important. So that means it is going to take care of both deterministic and mostly, because in real life probabilistic techniques are more useful, more relevant, practical. So here it will take care of, it will use the probabilistic technique. and with crystal ball you can make right tactical decisions, etc., etc. So these are the applications which are available for management science problems to solve using. Yes, Belasan is right. Also tree plan useful. I mean, I want you to now, this week keep discussing this. I don't want to give you any assignment because you will be overloaded with this. So all the students, find something. Go visit this website, share the screenshot what you saw, because in a class, this was enough for us to learn. But more than that, you try to cover as much as possible. Share interesting stories. Who used crystal ball? Who are the clients who used crystal ball and made success? How did they use tree plan, Excel QM, Windows QM? So we have got all the information. Now it's up to you to how much. So I stop the recording now. Our task is over.